What is this? This is a lens. Career change interviews. Show them your solution. You use your lens. Are you an experienced professional who wants to show up as a credible, strategic candidate and not an apologetic career changer? Let me ask you something. When you walk into an interview during a career change, are you trying to explain your past, or are you helping them see their future with you in it? Because of that distinction, that's what determines whether you get hired. So I am Lynden Kidd, career strategist with Captivating Careers. When you're changing careers, the interview is not about proving you've done the exact job before. It's about answering one core question every employer is asking. Can you help us move forward? And your job is to answer that cleanly, specifically, and with confidence, even if your titles don't line up neatly, and they won't if you're targeting work adjacent or what I call in a near the box role. My first point here is translate, don't defend. Most people in career change get stuck right here. They start explaining, justifying, defending why they are making the change. And that's actually a really wrong move. Instead, translate your experience. If you've led teams, you understand stakeholder management. If you've solved problems under pressure, you understand decision making. If you've worked with clients, you understand relationship building and good communication. The real question is, how does what you've already done reduce risk for this employer with the work that will be done in that role? That's the lens. My second point, anchor yourself in their problems. Strong candidates talk about themselves. Strategic candidates talk about the company. Do deeper homework than most people will. Be a better student of what they need. Look at the job description, of course, their LinkedIn activity, that of some of their leaders, that of the company, etc. Look at industry trends. Be a good student of the industry, and even listen to in on earnings calls if they're relevant. And then walk into the interview ready to say, here's what I see you're dealing with. Here's how I've approached something similar. Here's how I would think about it here. That's the moment you stop being a candidate and start sounding like a solution-oriented consultant. My third point, build strong and engaging bridge stories. You don't need perfect alignment. You need relevant evidence. Prepare 5 to 8 short, clear stories that show you delivered results, you solved problems with evidence of a fix, and you learned something quickly. You handled ambiguity. And then connect the dots for them. Don't assume that they are getting it. You need to connect the dots. Say something like this. While this was in a different industry, the core challenge was X, Y, or Z. Don't make them do the translation. You do it for them. That's how you build trust. Fourth point here is address the gap and then move on. They're going to wonder about your transition. You have to meet this question in their minds. So don't avoid it. Address it briefly and confidently in 2 or 3 sentences. Why you're making your move, what you've done to prepare, and why now is the right time. And then move forward. Don't linger there or sound apologetic. You are committed to this. Because the more time you spend explaining the gap, the more they focus on it. My fifth point here, demonstrate proximity, not perfection. You're not trying to prove you are already an expert. You're showing you're close enough and ready to ramp quickly. Hence, I want you to reference courses you've taken, certifications you've completed, conversations with people in the field, those doing the work, and thought leaders, small projects or applied learning, and certainly your facility with AI-enabled productivity enhancements. What you're signaling is initiative, and initiative lowers perceived risk. My 6 point: show them the future. This is where most candidates miss the opportunity. They stay in the past, but the people who get hired, they talk about the future. They say things like, in the first 90 days, I'd focus on. One opportunity I see is. You're helping them imagine you're already in the role. And once they can see that, you're no longer a hiring risk. They can see you as an asset. Hiring you becomes a smart decision. In closing, here's the shift and what I want you to take away. When you're changing careers, the interview is not about your resume. It's about your relevance. Before your next conversation, ask yourself, if I were already in this role, how would I think about their challenges and how would I talk about that? And then walk into the interview as that person. Show them your lens.